What's going on, guys? So, back to work on this thing. One of the issues I have been having with this car over the last year has been the starting and charging system. So it's been progressively getting worse and worse, where it just wouldn't hold the charge, the battery would be dead, I'd go to drive it, it would barely start. If I was out on track, shut the car off, it definitely wouldn't restart. So we tried swapping out the battery. That helped for a little bit. Put another battery in it. Swapped out the alternator, same thing. It was only charging at like 12 volts, maybe 12.3, which is not, ideal. So something I've been meaning to do and finally did is go through and completely change the entire starting and charging system on this car. Now, for starters, in the back here, originally when I built this car, I had two big 1,000, cranking amp batteries in the back here. Now I have 0. There are no more batteries in the back of this car. I moved them. I figured I would switch things up. No need to really have large current draw through the whole car to everything that's powered up in the front. So we moved the batteries out of the back of the car and we relocated it right here up under the dash. So we switched over to a lithium-ion battery. This isn't really my battery right now, though. This belongs to my buddy Brendan Greaves. He let me borrow this so I could do all my mock-up stuff and build my, mount brackets and everything for it. And yeah, lithium-ion, so it weighs like, 6 pounds maybe. And stash it up under the dash, shorten all the cable lengths and all that. Another thing I got rid of is this alternator. This was a quote-unquote 250 amp alternator from Speedway Motors. And that alternator has like one event on it, maybe two. And that is because I pulled this one off of it, which is the exact same alternator. And I thought that was my problem, but it was not. Well, that or they're both a problem. It's a good probability that they were both the problem. So yeah, we switched out that alternator for a new one. So the new alternator we got, it just looks like an OEM alternator, but it is not. It is a modified, good alternator. I don't remember off the top of my head who makes it. Brendan ordered it for me, so he put one in his car and said it made a world of difference, so I took his word for it, ordered one, and got that installed. The other thing we changed out is all of the battery cable. So for the longest time, I was running this junk, like cheap aluminum copper clad, basically speaker amplifier wire for my my battery cable, starter cable, alternator cable, all that stuff. So we got rid of that and actually got some proper battery cable to reroute in the entire car. And while I'm digging in this box of old stuff, we also got rid of all of the mechanical kill switches. The mechanical kill switches, we figured more points of failure, more points of connection, and the exterior kill switch on the car, I decided to cut it open to see how it looked, and there was a ton of corrosion inside of it. So I did not want that anymore. So I got rid of all of the key switches and replaced the key switches with an actual electronic solenoid, which is controlled by latching buttons right here. So this is just a piece I 3D printed to hold the button, and it bolts right in place of where the old kill switch was. And then inside the car, I used to have a kill switch key right here, which, was more cables running all over the place. Got rid of that, and I 3D printed this button holder right here. So that is my new kill switch. You can push the button, turns the dash on, powers everything up, and yeah, let's see how this thing's looking here. So we'll do ignition on and start this thing. And I figured I would just get out and shut it down from that button just to show that it can be cut off and killed from exterior and interior kill switches, the way that it is wired up to control the solenoid. So, but as you can see, the car fired right up without issue. No slow cranking, anything like that, and is actually charging over 14 volts like a car should. So I'm stoked that this thing will actually start now because it wouldn't before. So I'm pretty excited about that. Some other things that we've done recently, we did this oil cooler change right here. Put a sick Canton Racing oil cooler on here. As you can see, we got rid of the goofy little pipe thing we had going on there for a minute, and we just kind of lined it up so that it would, you know, blow all that hot air from the oil cooler right out of the little heat extractor in the hood. So, you know, make use of it. Only other thing I have left to do for the starting and charging system on this car as of right now is the electronic power steering main power wire. Before, that would hook directly up to the back of the alternator, and that's kind of how I still want to keep it. It worked really well like that, but the issue is that this new alternator put that lug in a slightly different spot, so that cable is not long enough to actually reach where it needs to go on now. So I do need to extend or remake the harness for the main power for the steering rack. So that's the only thing left on it. And then, you know, I'm thinking about tearing this whole turbo kit off of here and making an attempt at doing some ceramic coating on my headers. So we'll see how that turns out. Anyways, I have not, you know, posted a video in the longest time, so figured I'd give you guys a little update what I've been up to. And next year we're planning to hit some actual, like, a good amount of events. So just got to get tires figured out, really. But other than that, it's gonna be it for this one, guys. So like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, follow the build along. Till the next one, catch you guys later.